Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Friday, August 9th, 2024. Tyler, thank you. I appreciate that, honestly. Let's uh let's talk, people. We got so much going on here. It's just crazy. But again, nothing here. Really nothing that I don't think, well, maybe not. Let me say a little bit of this is kind of interesting. And we do have a bunch to talk about. Let's start off with okay, this market, nothing. Pretty much, we got a flat day, a little bit of green across the screen. Crypto's doing well. Volatility with XRP, which should be expected here after the SEC. Whatever they satisfied their judgment way less than was they were asking for. As all of you who follow this thing knew. I think this was kind of a no-brainer. I like XRP. You all know that. But we got to talk about this whole crypto thing, Bitcoin. We got to talk about gold, silver. I mean, the nonsense that's going on right now. And you know, it's a game. It's a game on such a scale, people. We really got to start thinking, even me, maybe a little further out of the box than we're thinking now. So let's start off with this. This is How about that? Democrats launch crypto for Harris campaign. Uh Now this is a very interesting turn of events here. Let's back up a little bit. A couple years ago, uh Donald Trump over there. He was, again, as we all know, as I was too, way before that, not a crypto guy. I didn't understand it. I didn't think it was gonna go anywhere. I was an old school guy, falling back on old school habits. I did my research. I did my due diligence, and I realized, hey, you know what? This is something that we need to think about here and put a little cash to work. You all know that. Trump's 180 on this did raise a lot of eyebrows. A lot of eyebrows. Me, I have said since day one that I believe this was a positive. You all know that I backed him up 100%, maybe too much on this. Now we got Kamala doing the same thing. So all roads here are leading to crypto, maybe to a central bank digital currency, no matter who they select here. Is that really what's going on? A lot of you believe that. Okay, a lot of you have written to me believing that that's exactly what's going on here. That, especially with this, I mean, hey, Greg, did you see what's going on here? Look, I do skim through my correspondence, and I love the fact that this stuff doesn't get by you out there. So we have to think here. Is it really a ploy to get crypto enthusiasts, investors to vote? I don't think the votes matter anyway. You all know, or is it bigger than that? Is this something else going on? Are both of these people having their strings pulled? They always are. You all know that. We'll talk more about that in just a moment here. So we have to start asking some questions. First of all, let me answer another question. People today, look, I really urge people to not just watch my videos and hear what I'm saying, but listen. Listen to what I'm saying here. A lot of times people hear things that they want to, and sometimes they get a little confused. I get that. All right. Let me be very clear on this. Okay. First of all, my favorite asset on this planet is not going to change for the foreseeable future. You know what that is? That's physical silver. My second, gold. That is how we beat the system. Carlos, thank you. Patrick, thank you too. I appreciate it. Okay. Not with whatever Donald Trump Jr. is throwing at you. Okay. I'm telling you, the hype behind this thing, a lot of you missed the big picture from my morning video. It wasn't about really the Trump coin meme thing that caused people to get destroyed. And I mean wiped out. Okay. Overnight. See, wife, thank you. Thank you very much. It's what's coming. It's coming here down the pike. And all the hype behind it tells Greg Mannarino to stay away from this, like I said, like it's a disease, an incurable disease. Just get away from it. The hype is going to destroy you. It caught all these people off guard. And again, it's the same story. I've been around a long time in this business, and I've seen the same thing play out time after time after time after time. Every single time, there are a select group, the people that get in really, really early or have a bunch already in their little toolbox. All of a sudden, the hype gets hyped up. People get in, you get a spike, and then the people who got in initially, they sell it all. It's a pump and dump scheme. It's repeated over and over and over and over again. Period. That's what happened last night. There's no way, in my view, Flash News Alert, thank you. I appreciate that. That the Trump team didn't realize that the Trump coin was going to vault and then fall because of all the hype. It was just hype, and I hate to see people get hurt. I hate to see people get burned. There's no reason for it. But people fall through these trap doors all the time. You got to stop. You got to stop. If it walks like a duck, it looks like a duck, and acts like a duck, it is a duck. And that's what we're seeing here. Ignore this, people. I'm telling you, I know you're going to get caught up in this. There are those of you that literally, I don't know what it is, what motivates you, but every single thing that Trump says is either divinely inspired, and I mean that in the literal sense. I hear this from people all the time. Or something else going on here. It's just not the way it is here. You still have to keep your head. Understand? I know it's not easy with the hype, with all the nonsense, the confusion. All this is done on purpose here. You understand? They're keeping you off balance. This mechanism, again, they've weaponized the system. I can't tell you this another way. The system has been weaponized to the highest order to keep people struggling, suffering here. And people can't get by as it is. So, hey, here's maybe a chance to get rich overnight. People get destroyed. You understand? There's no people, look, for the vast majority, and I mean the vast, vast, vast majority of people, there's no overnight get rich quick scheme, except for those who are going to get in on the ground floor. And then again, they pump it, as we're seeing now, don't get left behind. When you hear that slogan, I'm telling you, it spun my head around like The Exorcist. I said, this is a con. This is a con. People being conned here. This is not the way to take down the banking system. You understand? I don't care what they're trying to sell you. It's not right. We take down the system with gold and or silver, gold more specifically. Why gold? People ask that question all the time. Hey, Greg, why is it gold? Gold standard, gold. Because gold, and you don't take my word for this, okay, is the most stable asset the world has ever known. That's a fact. So that's why gold. All right. Gold is how, again, central banks don't hold gold for tradition. They hold gold because they realize here, first of all, it's so, I can't tell you the orders of magnitude, Mitch, thank you, of how undervalued commodities across the board are, but none more so, well, than silver, number one. And then gold, number two. Now, silver is volatile. It really bounces around a lot here. And that should be expected for anyone that buys this stuff. Anyway, so look, this is with all roads now leading to crypto. All right, crypto's now a bull. She's a bull. She believes in the space. It's interesting, isn't it? How this works. We got to start asking ourselves, what does this really mean? All roads leading to central bank digital currency. If you think for a moment that it's presidents who make the decisions here. Let me give you an example of that. You remember this here? You remember Operation Warp Speed? Operation Warp Speed, unveiled by Trump, aims for coronavirus virus by the end of the year. This Warp Speed has been responsible for the death of maybe millions. Okay. A lot of people tell me, well, Greg, Trump was forced to do it. You don't know that Trump was forced to do it. I'm not saying you were wrong, but what you're doing is you're conceding that someone's pulling his strings. So does it really matter who sits behind the Resolute desk? For those of you that believe that he was forced to institute this and cause the death of millions of people? Really? Oh, well, again, here's proof positive. Again, for those of you that believe he wasn't responsible. He also wasn't responsible for $3.6 trillion that was borrowed into existence, well, to help fund the warp speed death vax and everything else associated with it. But although he's taking credit for it, okay, and that bothers me. But so don't forget this, people here. Someone's pulling his strings, aren't they? Because he's not responsible. Like I said, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's amazing when you see things like that. Oh, of course. Watch how this worked out. So this guy here, thumbs up. How many people believed that this guy was telling the truth? Got it. Ended up with some mysterious disease, death, leading to death, some clot. Anyway, then of course he helped finish weaponizing it. Here's a 1-2 punch for you. 1, 2. You don't think they're working together here? Or someone's pulling both of their strings? They're both puppets? Let me show you something here. Puppets. 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 Yes, indeed, puppets. I wasn't even going to show you this, but I'm going to anyway. Do you remember this? Trump signed $738 billion defense bill. This is way more than they were asking for. Let's go through this here. President Donald Trump approved a colossal defense bill Friday that authorizes a top line of $738 billion for defense here. The National Defense Authorization Act grants a base budget of $658.4 billion and an additional $71 billion for overseas contingency operations, also known as a war budget. War is the business of government, people. And then what happened with that? Biden uses that weapon to point at the rest of the world. They'll point at the rest of the world. They'll point, and of course, more funding. More and more. This is nothing. This was just one installment. The $95 billion, the $60 billion, the $14 billion. I mean, and it's going on. It's not going to stop here. You understand where I'm going with this? When you have a president, when anybody does something like this, yeah, first of all, where's this cash come from? Where does this cash come from? Do we have a chest somewhere? Is there somewhere where we had $738 billion to spend on defense? Did we have that? Do we have a stash somewhere? No, comes right from the Federal Reserve. So tell me again, who do these people work for? I forgot to bring that up, but the $3.6 trillion for this, the grants to the big pharmaceuticals, he gave it to him. Where did he get the money from? He didn't have it. Came from the Fed. Oh, wow. Imagine my shock. $3.6 trillion. Can't make it up. So when you see a president or someone in power like that around the world, some leader spending all this cash they don't have, every developed nation on this planet is completely broke. Where does it come from? That's the number one question. Then you have to say what's really going on. What's actually happening? Who is puppeting these people? Who is pulling the strings? For those of you that don't believe he was responsible for it, it's not his fault. Oh, no. Millions are dead. That's what we do know. Well, let's give him a pass because it wasn't his fault, was it? Or Biden's fault. For anybody's fault. Let's give everybody a freaking pass, people. Are you kidding me? You can't make this stuff up, man. It's impossible to do. Anyway, so what we have here is two roads leading to some kind of central bank digital currency. And it looks like whoever is selected is going to help to issue that in. Let me show you something else. Trump says he should have a say on the Federal Reserve interest rate decisions. Do you remember what was coming out of his mouth during his tenure? He wanted negative rates, but that wasn't his fault. Remember, he's having his strings pulled. Understand? That's what all of you believe. I think a lot of you MAGA people out there. See, he's a puppet. You're admitting he's a puppet. He's useless. He's just a drone. Okay. So he was calling for negative rates during his tenure, which means you would have to pay the banks to keep your cash in these institutions. I don't think that would have worked out too well for you. He was also calling for a weaker dollar. Now, with regard to these two beautiful people here, these lovely people, we're going to talk more about this in a moment here. Both of them right now, they both love crypto. They fell in love with it. Maybe they'll fall in love with each other. They're going to have some secret affair. They probably are. Would you doubt it? Okay. These beautiful people are both now for crypto. These two people are both now for what are they doing? What are they doing? They're both calling for a weaker dollar. Kamala has no idea what this means. And I mean zero. But she does understand lower rates. Okay, everyone understands lower rates. Okay, lower rates is not what we need. Lower rates and a weaker dollar combined, these things can't be pulled apart. Okay, I think we're on the same page. At least I hope we are. Mitch, thanks again. Okay, so what this does, of course, is again, boom, empower the Federal Reserve. It doesn't weaken the Federal Reserve. Whoever gets behind it, I know that there's the same thing going around now that we had. It's astonishing how history does repeat itself sometimes exactly. Today, history is repeating itself exactly because the same people last time, Trump is going to bankrupt the Fed. Trump is going to get rid of the Fed. They're saying the same thing now. Meanwhile, these two people are saying the same thing. Let's forget about other social issues. I understand illegal immigrants or abortion issues, whatever thing might be plaguing your mind over this whole thing. Who funds it all anyway is what we really should be paying attention to. And they're both going to be empowering the Fed, maybe even people, helping them issue in their central bank digital currency because that's what they want. This has been their goal. You understand? Okay. To take us all down. How's this world looking for you right now? How's the US economy working for you? You think it was strong under Trump? You think the economy was really strong under Trump? Those of you that have been absolutely brain dead since that time, you really believe that's true? How much debt was pulled into existence while Trump was there? Obama's are there too. Obama and then this guy. Let's talk about Trump. Everyone talks about how strong the economy was under Trump. You realize you were duped, don't you? You were lied to. It was floated on an ocean of freaking debt. And all it did was float this house of cards on this pool of gasoline even more. There was nothing strong about the economy. And inflation, the reason why we didn't have inflation is because our economy was dead, as it is now. But it takes a finite amount of time. You all know this. For all those extra bills that Obama pulled into creation, that Trump pulled into creation, that Biden pulled into creation, soon to be those two guys, they're going to do the same thing, okay, to make their way through the economy. And now we're seeing the effect of it. It's called money velocity, and there is a lag effect. So those of you that fell for it, were duped, my condolences. You have it. Again, I get it. Not everybody is Greg Mannarino and understands the financial system like most of you do here that you've been with me for any length of time. But now that you do understand, do you realize you were duped? Do you realize that you were lied to? Do you realize there's someone else pulling the strings here? Do you finally believe that? Or is Greg completely nuts? He's out to lunch. This should scare you. Because if this kind of power was given to any president here, they could say, hey, guess what? You know what? I want negative rates. Do you realize this mechanism, what this has done, suppressed rates now since the last meltdown? Chris, thank you. This has been the grandest theft, the grandest, most incredible legal theft from the American people and the people of the world in the history of modern civilization here. Again, there was a time when people relied on the interest earning accounts to pay more than the rate of inflation. Here, if you have your cash in any interest account, I don't even care if it's a high yield account, real inflation numbers are exponentially higher than what they're letting us know about. So this idea of lower rates, who's saying that? Kamala's promising you lower rates. Who else is saying that? Donnie boy. Yeah, Donnie boy. He's promising. In fact, he started it. Then, of course, Kamala said, wait a minute. If Trump is promising people lower rates, I got to do the same thing. Oh, yeah, she's doing that. And then, of course, the crypto. This should scare the living hell out of you. It doesn't change my perspective on the crypto space. It doesn't. As a matter of fact, finding out now that Kamala is the queen, Kamala is going to be the crypto queen, doesn't matter. I said specifically that if Trump is not selected, that it would be a big negative for crypto. Oh, whoa. Not anymore. No, that's just a coping mechanism, people. I have to do these things. Okay, just bear with me. So it doesn't matter anymore. Okay, pick who you want. It's going to be bullish for crypto. It looks like both of them here. Maybe you're being put in there for a reason. Maybe to help the central banks. They need a spokesperson. They need someone up there who's going to tell you how great cryptocurrency is. Okay, this thing here, cryptocurrency. I trade negative. Thank you. This was supposed to be a decentralized platform, a way for people to transact outside the system. Does that sound familiar? Because that's kind of what a little Donnie Trump Jr. is trying to sell you right now. Okay, this don't miss out. It's already been done, in case you don't know here. But what happened is Wall Street got their big, fat, ugly hands on it, like they always do. And is Donnie Trump Jr. that stupid? I have to ask, because maybe he is. Maybe he got this and he's all whacked out. Doesn't know what the hell is going on. Ron Schubert, thank you. Anyway, Wall Street will get their hands on that too. Can't be stopped. Can't be stopped. So anyway, look, I'm doing my best here to steer all of you in the right direction. You guys do what you want. And there are some of you that are going to fall through that trapdoor, and everyone said for you so hard, you're not even going to know it hit you. You're not even going to know it hit you. But it is what it is. Now let's talk a little bit further here. Let us move forward down a lovely thing here. How about this? This strategist downgraded tech before the summer. People, let me tell you something about tech. If we understand that we're being promised lower rates by both of these lovely creatures, that we're being promised a weaker dollar, the first thing that should go off in your head is ding, 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 tech, because you see tech thrives on lower rates. You understand? But you can't know any of this stuff. None of these people are going to tell you because maybe they don't know. Donnie knows. That's for sure. But her? Wait, let me see if I can copy this. I got to stop doing this to myself, people. I really got to stop. But we're way ahead of the curve on that. We've been talking about this. So let us, what else do I got here? Oh, man. How about this one? So wealthy investors find opportunities. You mean like buying the dip? You mean like buying the freaking dip like you and I did? What did you and I do? Me and my lions here when this market fell on Monday, looking at the MMRI, looking at what the Fed was doing to the dollar, looking at what the Fed's doing to the debt market, buying it all. We jumped in here. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty happy about the money. I told you I added aggressively to my positions. And then one, JEPQ. I already have my JEPI. You already know that. I'm not even adding to that for a while. All right, my JEPQ tech exposure here, I'm working on building that position. And I'm looking to build a pretty fat freaking position here. Understand? So anyway, look, so this is what they're telling you now. The presidential debate voters should ask about Social Security. Yeah, not a bad question. But what they really should be asking is, why are the both of you both calling for lower rates and a weaker dollar, and now you both love crypto? Seems a little off. We want to know why. We know why. You and I know why. It's pretty obvious to me. Should be just as obvious to all of you that have at least a few functioning brain cells, which I'm sure all of you do. Oh, anyway, people, look, man, I'm sitting here and I'm preaching to the choir. Let me tell you something, and I don't blame people for doing this. Let me just say something real quick. I take a lot of heat for a lot of things, all right? Whether I'm pro-Trump, anti-Trump, pro-Kamala, which I am not, and anti whatever it might be, okay? If I support Trump, I get beat up for it. If I've never said a positive word, not one about Biden nor Kamala, but I keep getting beat up about it. That's okay. You know what it is? When I say something here, for example, when I show something like that to people, all right, they can't handle it. What happens is truth hurts. People they've been so indoctrinated from their first breath to be lied to, okay? The more they are lied to, the happier they get. They become in a state of euphoria. You tell people the truth, it's like they get blindsided across the jaw, like by Mike Tyson, and they just can't handle it. So what they tend to do is they get very angry, they lash out, they can't participate in conversation. It's an impossibility. So they lash out. So many people over the years have reacted that way and then come back to me and said, hey, Greg, you know what? You were right all along. I'm just a guy here who's trying to get the truth out, people. You understand? We have to realize what's going on here. We really, really do. And I'm going to tell you right now who our enemy is. Here they are. This is them. And both of these people work for the Federal Reserve. How do we know that? What are they doing? Lower rates, weaker dollar. They both love crypto now. Again, putting all the other social, whatever it might be aside here, they're both empowering the enemy. The enemy. We can't be a free people if we're forced to live in their system. Okay. The system that both of these have done everything in their power. Everything in their power. Her too. Okay. She wasn't the president, but she participated with this freak, the current imbecile sitting behind the resolute desk. This guy, way smarter than her, quite obviously, at least in my book. He knows what's going on, but he can't tell you the truth. What they won't tell you during the debate, although it might come up whether, this is just nonsense here, how a president should have say in what the Fed does. Again, thank God we didn't under Trump's last rule, because we would have had negative rates. We would have had, an even weaker dollar than we had already, but that would have inflated the stock market way more. Oh, sure. The corporate agenda, they would have been loving it. They would have been orgasmic, especially with the year-end bonuses here. People, you get what I'm saying here? Am I finally getting through to you? I know it's an impossibility to some. They just won't get it, and that's okay. Let them stick around. Hopefully, they'll join. They'll get it, and they'll be more in tune with what's actually going on here. Anyway, people, look. So what I'm going to do for the last few minutes, all right? People, by the way, just in case you didn't know, the complaint desk is closed. The complaint desk has been closed. So I got a lot of negative feedback about my video from yesterday. It ran 53 minutes. Come on, Greg, 53 minutes? Oh, I could never watch that. Who's saying you have to? And don't complain to me about it, okay? I frankly don't care. There are people who appreciate this. There are people that want to be here. There are people that want to learn what's actually happening here, or at least make up their own mind as to what's going on. I don't want to sway you this way. I don't want to sway you that way. All I want you to do is think. Think. People don't think anymore. It's an incredible thing. How does society function today? You have to wonder. You think that's maybe part of the reason why we're in the state of affairs that we're in right now? Being wiped out. Like we're going to, like cattle or whatever we are. They treat us like infantile entities because most people are frankly dumb. Because they've lost the ability to think. It's incredible. It really, really is. It's absolutely incredible. Anyway, bullish on toilet paper. Yeah, remember what they did to us then? They were laughing at us. They were making a mockery of us then. And we wait till the next one's coming. You think it's over? So anyway, as I said, the complaint desk is closed. If you don't like long videos, frankly, people, I'm going to tell you straight out. Greg Mannarino could not possibly care less. Watch half the video. I don't know. Speed it up. Well, some people, they have the attention span of a goldfish. That's all right. That's all right. Are we going lower? Dude, you shouldn't even be asking that question if you follow this blog. What have I been telling you? What's the Fed doing? They're buying it all. They're pumping it all. Are we going to see more volatility? Is it possible that the market could peel off 1,000 points to Monday because today's Friday? Sure it is. Sure it is. But the market's going higher. The market's going higher because the corporate agenda is being fulfilled. Lower rates don't help you. Lower rates are meant to be there along with the weaker dollar for the multinational corporations that trade overseas. The weaker dollar helps them with overseas trade because of the exchange rate. Crypto waves, thank you. Mitch, thanks again. And with regard to lowering borrowing costs, these corporations can borrow cash for next to nothing and then sell corporate debt to not only finance the new debt they're taking on that's created out of nothing, but then they make a profit on it. You can't do that. Why do you think today people are struggling the way they are? Okay, yes, the currency is being evaporated. Who's responsible for that? Who creates the currency out of nothing? Is it going to be Kamala? Is it going to be Trump? Wherever I put their freaking pictures? Is it going to be this warp speed guy? Is it this freak right now? No, they are not responsible. They have helped the Federal Reserve. Oh, there's no doubt about it. The Fed needs a spokesperson. What have I been telling you for many months? The Fed needs an ally behind the resolute desk. They're going to get it. They're going to get it. Either it's going to be Kamala, or Trump. Best friends the Fed could ever have. And you're going to hear the same story. It's going to be funny to listen to. Oh, Fed's trying to bank Trump. He's bankrupting the Fed. That's why we're seeing what we're seeing now. Oh, absolutely. They're not letting him implement his plan because he has a plan. When you realize, puppets, you're all going to be better off. Until that time, there are some people that really want to be ruled by a king. Okay, this nation was initially started to get away from all that. People who could govern themselves, but now we have people who have surrendered that. We surrendered it. So now that you surrendered your ability to rule or govern yourself, you think these people have your best interest in mind? How about no? All right, guys and girls, listen. We are going to part ways, but just for a short period of time. Short period. We are going to resume festivities here again on Sunday for my markets and look ahead. I want to thank you for all being here. I want to thank you for these thumbs up. We didn't get a good showing today for the live stream. It's unfortunate. I really wish more people would show up here. So I'm going to call on all of you. Please, guys, share this stuff. Get it out there. Thumbs up gets the algorithms to see the video. I want to hear from you. Did you get something out of this video, or was it just rhetoric, nonsense, complete garbage that you could have done something else better with your time? If that's the case, I get it. All right. I'm not going to get through to everybody. I'm certainly not going to get through to you on the first time, maybe not the second, maybe not even the third. But once you hear this stuff and you start to engage your brain, you'll see what's going on here, people, and then you will know what action to take. As I always tell you, I don't want to sit here and blab away. I want you to think about the situation and what it means for you. Why is it that you and I are betting against the debt, becoming our own central bank? So yes, having some cryptocurrency in your portfolio, buying the dips in this market as the Fed's buying it all, fulfilling their end game. Do you think that corporations are going to be more? Here's the question I have for you. Understanding that both Kamala and the big T, okay. Why am I doing that? I have no idea why I'm actually doing that. It's a coping mechanism, like I said, are both with regard to, okay, the Fed, empowering the Fed, calling for lower rates, promising you, we promise you, they're both promising the same thing. Weaker dollar, lower rates, and now they both love cryptocurrency. They love it. All right. If we understand these things, there are certain dynamics are going to play out here. Corporations are going to become much more profitable. Forget about recession. Forget about depression. This doesn't even matter. And I've already told you that faster that the economy falls into obscurity, it's already gone. Okay. The higher the market's going to go. How many times have you heard me say that over, I don't know, years? It's not going to stop. This mechanism is going to go forward here because the market is not dependent on forward guidance, PE ratios, and none of that stuff matters anymore. It's all about easy money. It's all about easy money. That was what was going on here for the last three presidents. The last three presidents have kissed the ass of the Federal Reserve more so than every single president before them combined. You don't believe me? Look it up yourself. Look what the debt was when the lovely, beautiful man, Obama, when he stepped in. And then what happened under Trump? Oh, yeah. And then this guy. Yeah. They're your best friends. They have your best interest in mind. You know they don't. People, this guy here loves you from the heart. I mean that with all I got. So what we're going to do, it's Friday, people. Let's bring it in. All right. We're gonna have a group little thing going on here right now. Okay, ready? Love each other. Care about each other. Be charitable and think. All of you, I know I'm preaching to the choir. All right. Think. Get more people to understand what's going on here. We're all going to benefit from it. Okay. I think what I've covered here, I think I nailed it to the wall. But I do want to hear from you. Okay. And as I said, I'll see you Sunday. All right. Until we meet again, Please take care of yourselves and each other.